Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Jay Leather. Um, I have to say that I love business credit, and I've learned so much just by trying it out. I've done a lot of research, and I think that a lot of these YouTubers that are out there right now, giving uh, credit or business credit advice, personal or business, at the end, it's like a lure to get you, so you could sign up for their program. Respectfully, the only program that I would sign up for is the bigger ones, like Credit Suite and the other guys. The rest of us are just people who have learned by Googling things and researching the internet and talking to peers and see what has worked for them. You're going to see that I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to give you the teasers, like the basic starter vendors that everybody knows, just to lure you in to charge you like $150. I'm not going to do anything like that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make videos, and I'm going to give you all the vendors that have worked for me, and I'm going to give you vendors that will either report to Equifax or Experian, and that you will have to take an additional step or steps so that DUN and BRADSTREET calls those companies, and that's a trade reference. So don't be discouraged, even if some companies say they will only report to here and there. Sometimes there's things you can do to make them report to the other credit agencies. I'm going to be making these videos in the car because I find more peace in the car. I find way better lighting, not lightning. We don't want that. I actually live in California, and right now, it's cold, but it's not very cold. It gets more cold at night, like around 1, 2, 3, 4 in the morning, all the way up until 7. And then, we get a little bit of clear skies, a little bit of clouds. I'm in central California, about an hour away from San Francisco, or an hour and 20 from San Francisco, an hour and 20 from Sacramento, San Jose, Oakland. I'm nearby all those cities. A little bit about myself. I'm originally from Los Angeles. But, we'll get to that later. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you these vendors right now. And I'm not just going to give you the names, but I'm also going to give you the long description. Not the long, but, you could always fast forward if that's what you want to do. But if you have a little bit of time, watch the video. I'm not going to sell you anything. I'm not going to ask you to buy anything. If you do want a conversation on the phone, that's a whole different thing. But I'm not looking to make money off personally of other people. I think I'm more interested in creating a YouTube channel that is going to really be the main source of free information for people who want to be self-employed, have a little bit of financial stability. It's hard to work for a store or a company or retail or corporate. It's just not the way that things should be like. You should be able to go to work whenever you want, go to work whenever you don't, or stay home whenever you don't want to go to work, all that good stuff. But anyways, let's get to it. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to start with the first one, and I'm going to tell you right now, you may or may not have heard it, and that's fine. I have seen it on the internet, on different people's sites or on the big sites, on the forums or chat rooms, but I'm going to let you know how I did it and why it works and why some people are discouraged to apply for it. So the first vendor that I want to talk about is Advance Auto Parts. It's actually a really good company. It's like Napa Auto Parts, like O'Reilly, like AutoZone. They sell a lot of parts. So these are the steps. If you don't have an Advance Auto Parts in your city or your state, totally fine. It's just like any other company that you would apply online, right? Okay, so what you want to do is find out the one that is closest to you. It just works a lot better, because if you do have one in your town, just walk in there, fill it out, give it to them. That way you don't have to fax it or you know, rely on someone to actually process it. You know, these auto parts are always busy. I mean, in my opinion, you know, because I do landscaping and things like that. I have a landscaping business on the side, and um, anyways, but what you want to do is figure it out. Find out if Advanced Auto Parts is in your city or state. If they're not, totally cool. Get on Google, find out where they're at. Let's just say if they're in Arizona or Wyoming, whatever the closest one to you is. Pick up the phone and give them a call. Ask them to fax you your credit application. Now, remember one thing. They don't email. These guys just don't work with emails. I've tried it. They don't want to. It's just easier for them to fax. So what you want to do is have a fax machine ready. I got mine through, Jesus. Actually, I have three companies that I tried. Some of them were slow. Some of them were fast. Some of them were cheap. Some of them, you know, offer free trials. Whatever works for you, just get a good one. So call them, ask them to fax your credit application. Fill it out. Make sure that you put everything that it requires. Keep in mind that some of these companies or some of these stores, they've kept the same application and made copies and copies and copies. And some of these copies are going to be a little bit hard to read. What I did is I actually called another store, and the other store was actually, you know, able to provide a clear copy of it. Anyways, back to what I was saying. What you want to do is fill it out, make sure that everything is legible, fax it back, give it about 5-10 minutes. And best practice, I've always told people, call them back. You know, all you got to do is pick up the phone, say, hey, my name is Jay Leather from so-and-so, and I want to make sure that you receive my application. They're going to be like, okay, let me go check the fax machine. They're going to confirm with you. And, you know, they're going to say, okay, cool. You know, we're going to submit it to the credit department. It has to be done that way. There is other ways, but the thing about the credit department is that they want to make sure that you are like a representative of the company. So they want you to go inside of the store or to fax it. It's just the way they work. Super easy, right? Okay. So I want to give it about 5 business days. If you do this, it's going to work perfect, right? Because it's going to give enough time for the credit department to catch up, fill it out, or process it, approve you. In my experience, businesses that have no credit history or that have a little bit of business credit history are still going to get approved. It's kind of like the other vendors, you know, they'll sign you up for like I think it's like $1,000. It's $1,000 that they start you off with, which is great. Cause I mean, if I own a landscaping business. So, when one of my trucks needs anything, I can just go there, grab it, and it's a little cheaper. So let's just say if I took it to the shop, to the automotive shop, I'd get a quote and I tell them, hey, is it okay if I buy my own parts? That way I can get a discount. And most of the auto shops that I work with, they say, yeah. And not only that, but I have the auto parts deliver the parts to my mechanic at his shop. Yeah, I mean, I need the parts. You may or may not, but I mean, if you have a vehicle, you may need wiper blades. Right now it's the winter in the United States, so some people have the storms pouring down on their vehicles every time they go to work. So, maybe you need wiper blades. Maybe you need headlights. I don't know, anything for the vehicle, a Rain-X, anything that's going to help you. Remember, if you do go to one of the stores, or you can also order online. That's why this vendor is so great, right? Whether it's something that you need for the vehicle or just some. So yeah, companies like this will start you at $1,000, and it's a great thing because you may need wiper blades, headlights, Rain-X, floor mats, even air fresheners for the vehicle, anything like that. But remember that you should always aim for $50 or more before taxes, because a lot of the vendors, they don't want to spend money to report because they have to pay for the reporting. They don't want to report if you spend $10. So if you don't need to spend anything over $50, I would wait a little bit. Maybe your family member needs something and you can all just go in there and buy it together, charge the account. It's going to work so much better. Listen to the things I'm saying. It'll work for me. I can show you my credit report. If you call me, if you email me, comment, start by commenting. That way I can communicate with you, and then we can set it up together if we need to talk or email each other, whatever it is. Okay, so back to what we were saying. Fax it back to them, call them, make sure they got it. They'll email the credit department, and around 4 to 5, maybe 6 business days, depending on what day of the week it is, they're going to set you up with an account, okay? They'll set you with an account for $1,000, which is amazing because I don't have $1,000 to go and spend on auto parts. I don't even have a credit card with any auto parts. So I would have to pay out of pocket. At least with this, you can charge it to the account and pay it later when you have a little bit more money or whatever the case is. But if you need something up front for auto parts, this is one of the many ways to go. And they report to DUN and BRADSTREET. When you call them back after 5-6 business days, call the store back, the same one that you applied. That's why it's so important for you to keep notes. Put the date. Or you know what? Let me just say the way that I did it. I take notes. I take the person's name that I spoke to, the manager's name and phone number, their fax, their address, their location, every single little thing. Because if you are on a path to build business credit and you're not keeping notes, you may have applied for 1 or 2 companies. And because you're not following up on them, they're not going to activate them, or they're not going to do this, or they're not going to do that. Most of the time, all you have to do is apply. But the reason I'm saying this is because of this. When it comes to Advanced Auto Parts, whenever the representatives or the employees or the cashiers or the service guys at the Advanced Auto Parts, whenever they email or fax, I don't know what they do, or they have some type of electronic system where they communicate with the credit department. Whenever they do that, the credit department verifies that your business is registered and it has all the proper information that it should. Whenever they do that, they open the account, but they don't automatically put a credit limit on it. And if they don't have a credit limit, they might not report yet. So after you call the store and the store says, oh yeah, it's open. And if you ask them for a credit limit, if they do say no, I don't see a credit limit, what you want to do is call the credit department. When you can easily go on Google. Now, don't call the regular customer service number from Advanced Auto Parts. What you want to do is Google Advanced Pro or Advanced Professional and then get the number from there. Or you could ask the employee there at the store. They may not know, or they may not want to give it to you out. That's one of the things that I come across a lot. And so call the credit department, or actually I email them. I got the email from many sources and it's just so much easier. But if you can get on the phone, if you have time, go ahead and do that. What you want to do is talk to the guys there, and the girls and the guys there. They're really nice. They're really easy to talk to. Ask them what your credit limit is. If they say they haven't placed a credit limit, ask them why, and they'll tell you. With me, it was they said that the people at the advanced store level, that they entered somehow they entered the information on their system, so she was able to pull it up on her end. But what she asked me to do is to email her the application. And again, because I had my application already saved in my computer with all my notes, when I faxed it in, right, the first time, I had it saved. So I just emailed her right away, and she emailed me back, gave me my account number with a credit limit. So at that point, for a fact they're going to report. So follow these steps. If you miss a step, you may get stuck and you may wonder why it's happening. A lot of people, what they do is they go and Google starter vendors, or they go on the internet, or they go on YouTube. And their biggest mistake is not watching the entire video. Now, I'm not looking to make an hour-long video, like the guys at Credit Suite or anything like that. I just like to talk to you the way that I would like somebody to talk to me. I don't want bots or program or people reading scripts, which is okay. But I think that I find better information and more relativity to other people when I hear them speak just just like regular people, not hiring other people to speak to them in the video or speak their videos for them. All those things are great, but for now, this is the way that I want to do the videos. I want you to see me. I'm just a regular guy, drive the regular car. It's a Dodge Magnum, basic car. I have a basic home, 1 story, 3 bedrooms, 4 bedrooms, 2 baths. I have a couple family members living with me. Rents are a little bit pricey. Not really, but they're getting there. So yeah, I like to talk about everything. Okay, so now that Advance Auto Parts has established your account with an account number and they placed a credit limit on it, then you can breathe, you can relax, you can just hang out. If you don't have a credit reporting subscription, you're gonna need that. I would just go with Nav, the cheap free version. It's gonna show you Dun and Bradstreet, Experian, and Equifax. It's not gonna show you the detailed description of every account that you have, but it's going to provide a score, like a Paydex score for Dun and Bradstreet. It's gonna give you the other scores. Remember, this is the free version, so if you have that, that's fine. At least you can start with that. But it's really, you have to monitor these credit reports. Why? Because sometimes, again, if you leave it up to other people to do the work for you, even though it's their job, they get a lot of applications, a lot of calls. A lot of these credit people, they are supposed to be only in the credit department, but their company may use them for other customer service, picking up phone calls, and so they're going to get behind at one point or the other. Always follow up. So like I was saying, it's very important that you monitor the credit reports. You want to make sure that you see what comes in and what's being reported. I'll talk about later other ways to get credit reporting detailed for a lot less than what other companies are charging. Okay, so you have all these steps, right? You made sure that you applied the right way, that you verify that they got it. You called the credit department, you communicated with everyone. So now you know for sure that it's reporting. Again, you can relax. Now we're going to go to the second step. Okay, the second vendor that I'm going to talk about, the name is CarQuest Auto Parts. Now, it's similar to Advance, and the reason for that is because Advance Auto Parts purchased CarQuest years ago, and now they've expanded the network of auto parts. This actually works really well for us, because usually when a company purchases another company, or they have sisters or subsidiaries, whatever it is, they combine their credit system into one. And even if you apply for both, the credit application is going to go to the same department and it's going to be reviewed by the same team. But in this case, they allowed us to apply for both and get 2 cash accounts. So for CarQuest, you're going to do the exact same thing. If you don't have one in your state or your city, just go ahead and get on Google, do your research, find out where there are, and have them fax you a credit application. You have to do this in 2 different stores. You have to find a CarQuest store, do the application there, send it to them, and then call the Advance or the Advance first, however you want to do it. But call the Advance as well, and communicate with them. All communication has to be done with them individually. Why? Because you want CarQuest to actually submit the info to to Advance credit department. Okay, so what's going to happen at the end? Well, you're going to say, well, you know what? How do I build a Paydex score? Well, I just gave you 2 vendors that report to Dun and Bradstreet, and all you have to do is just find one more. I think that Advance Auto Parts, again, has been all over the internet. It's been some parts, some people are talking about it, but they're not talking about CarQuest. I truly feel that based on the amount of research that I've done, I have not seen CarQuest vendor anywhere on the internet. Anywhere on the internet. Like, of course, you can see the website, but you're not going to see anybody talking about talking in forums or YouTube channels or anything like that about CarQuest. And some people are really missing out on this. It's so easy. Okay, one thing that I do want to talk about as well is that You don't even have to spend a penny for CarQuest and Advanced Auto Parts to report. What these guys do, or how they work, is like this. After they've approved you, all the requirements are done, they're going to report to Dun and Bradstreet pretty fast. I mean, for me, once I got approved in 2-3 weeks, it was already reporting. It's going to report both the accounts. They're going to come out and under Dun and Bradstreet as cash accounts with a balance of 0. That's totally fine. Once you spend $50 or more, then they'll report that. But right now, it doesn't matter. You know, you got your 2 accounts. Just go and apply for 1 more, and there's your paydic score, and just keep working on your business credit. I'm gonna be making a lot of videos for you guys. Talk to me on the comments. Let me know. Ask a lot of questions. Nothing is stupid. Nothing is done, because when I began, I don't even know what a paydic score. I didn't even know what Dun and Bradstreet was. You know, I came from learning a lot about personal credit. I know about Experian, Equifax, TransUnion, and the other small ones, but I never ever in my whole life, you know, I didn't know anything about Dun and Bradstreet. I didn't even know it existed. I started doing research on YouTube channels, what was about Dun and Bradstreet, and I learned so much. So now this is me giving it back to the community, to you guys. What I wanted you to do is like, subscribe, comment, turn on those notifications. That way we can interact all the time, and you can find out when I release another video, which is going to be pretty often. Apologize I spoke too much. I just wanted to really let you guys understand that I understand the process. I'm not going to be charging you anything. I'm going to be putting all the free information here, and I am sure that you're going to like it. Thanks for watching my channel. I'm Jay Leather, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.